access for the stream.
Decisions in the early round.
No one else.
But I'm just gonna throw it over to
So
you. Just like, what do you have to say, those fuckers? Sorry, shouldn't probably say that in the question.
Like, first of all, I agree with some of those fuckers. That dying in some situation on controller is not the best way. So we've been fixing it. We've tried like different roles, maybe adding like second controller. But the way I play is just the way I play. It's like just the style which was built from like last 10 years of playing, and it's very hard to break myself, you know. So now I'm just trying to make the problems with the style less influential on our game, let's say.
Yeah. Well, I think you figured it out. You just pick up these like really cracked players that can win the 4-on-5. That's a pretty good strat to like solve it. Yeah?
That's the step one.
So your guys' first match is against Crew. They played in the Red Bull home ground thing, and they beat the hobbled Liquid team, the team that wasn't really fully.
Sorry, one more time. I had like sound off.
No, you're fine. So your guys are playing Crew in your opening match, and they did play in the offseason. They played in the Red Bull home ground event where they played Liquid, and Liquid they didn't have their full roster and stuff at the time, obviously. But what do you think of your opening matchup? Are you confident going into it? They don't have Kesnet anymore, so they lost their star player, but they're still stacked, you know?
Obviously, we looked through some of the Crew matches from Red Bull. Unfortunately, like 70% of those are Bind and Breeze.
Yeah.
So like it's just kind of useless, plus a chamber. But I guess we understand the style of the play, and I saw their new players are pretty skilled. Like Sand is good an operator player and super aggressive on Jet, so we'll see. We're not afraid. We're confident that we're gonna win, but I would give a lot of respect to Crew. We are not like going for an easy walk there. That's for sure.
Dude, it's wild. I mean, both of us came from CS, and just seeing all these regions just fucking pop off.
Yes, it's actually cool.
The competition is so stiff across the entire globe. I mean, coming out of the first bracket, we have Loud and DRX. You know, like Loud just made 2 roster changes. What do you think of Loud? Do you think they're still a contender to be the best team in the world? I know you guys are up there. Loud is up there. The Energy Core is up there. How do you feel about Loud after their changes and coming into this event?
Actually, the question for me was how much about their winning champions last year is about like individual skill of players, right? Because it can be like AGLing guy or just a coach who's building proper structure. And I think like Group A gave us an answer, right? Like they still have a good structure, and new players are also playing super good. They have the ideas, they have like proper setups and everything else. Super cool comps, actually, like a bit out of the meta, but that's what I like. And yes, I think they have everything to be a contender. I think I got the answers I was looking for.
Hell yeah, I like to hear that. So you don't have anything super critical to say about the Harbor picks? Because I mean, I was like loving the Harbor picks. Like I thought they got so much value out of them. I thought DRX got so much value on an Icebox. You're smirking right now. I'm hoping we see some Harbor from you guys, but I'm not like optimistic because it's so hit or miss. Teams either think he's shit or he's amazing. What do you think about Harbor so far at this event?
I think he's like top 2 weakest agents in the game, to be honest.
Okay.
Like obviously you can find how to use him, especially in a situation when no one are used to play it with Viper. And you barely found anyone playing with it on any maps. So yeah, when we've been playing Prax against Harbor, it was annoying in some situation, and we saw he can be used for real, you know. But I feel like it's like one time, like one trick, you know, like when you know exactly what he's gonna do, and when you understand that on his plays can be like much more helpful agents like Sage. Like for example, a lot of teams using Harbor on Icebox, as I saw, like skipping Sage.
Mm-hmm.
But if you will understand, like just have a plan how to counter him planting B side, what else? You're gonna just go 8-12 rounds in a game? Like also not the best option, I would say.
Yeah.
Because this smoke doesn't defend you from like mollies, from just spraying the smoke, right? It destroyed from like 5-6 bullets.
Yeah.
When one guy easily destroying it. So I think Harbor is cool, as you said. I like watching it, but I'm not sure on distance without the buff, he will be consistent. Let's say it like this.
Yeah, I think you're in the same camp as I am, right? Like we see the prettiness of it all, like the throwing the cascade. Oh, you're denying the line and this and this. But in Valorant,
it's like yoru pick, you know?
Yeah,
you like watching it.
Yeah, I like watching it.
Sure.
Yeah, and I see the value in all the util, but I also know what's possible in Valorant. Like I've seen players like Cena disrespect shit like this time and time again, and I feel like it's just a matter of time before people start disrespecting this util and like running through it, finding solutions to deal with it. And I agree. I think it's just a lot of smoke and mirrors right now, but I think it'll evolve. Like that's why it could go either way. Like it really could. That's interesting. What do you think about Split right now? Like with all the changes, because you guys were kind of cracked on Split back in like the Party Parrots days. I remember you innovated like the ramp double satchel stuff. Oh man, I loved watching you guys play that map. So we haven't seen a lot of it this event. I'm hoping like in your guys' group, because you guys have some good Split teams, that we get to see more of it. Do you like the new map?
I'm a bit disappointed about Split because I expected more changes. You know, it's still pretty much one-sided and it didn't change that much. Like defense in a big favor, especially having in mind most of the attendants will play something like Viper, Astra, like smoking mid, molling it, or Sage is there also slorbing, and like it becomes just a hell to go through mid, you know? So basically, and if you can't like go mid without refrag, it means your strats are limited to literally fast A, fast B.
Yeah.
Like anything else is... So I'm not like super excited about Split, but I'm happy it's back because we love the map, we played it good always, we know how to play it, and we're not afraid to play it.
Yeah. I think you guys played it. You guys innovated on that map more than any of the teams in like the Western regions, I think. So I'm excited to see what you guys bring to the map. This is going to be like a left field question, but I'm just curious because I've seen you play a lot of different agents. What are your top 2-3 agents to play? Like what do you have fun playing when you're gaming?
Obviously, when I'm just like having fun, I prefer to take someone who is suitable in an entry role.
Yeah, the Yoru fracture?
Sounds like Yoru, Phoenix, you know, like some kind of stuff. But it's if we're talking about fun.
Yeah.
But in general, I just have a habit. I don't like to play same agent too much. That's what I don't like. I prefer to like switch it because I get bored after like a lot of games on the same agent. I don't have like, you know, top 3 of my list. Just like to change it.
I always dig your Omen because you were always down to go for the TP plays.
It's true. Omen is fun by itself. You have a lot of options how to fuck up, you know. So this is my kind of agent.
That's amazing, dude. So you guys now have competition in your region for like the super teams. What are your thoughts on like some of these other big teams that were made in your region, like particularly like Liquid, who I think you guys would play them in like your second match, right? Like so
if
Liquid
goes
plays.
win,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I know the future, but I think on February 25th you're playing Liquid, you know?
I will check the schedule.
That should be a banger. Have you guys gotten any scrims in against them, or like nothing like that?
No, we skipped teams which is in our part of bracket. Okay. So yeah, we didn't play them. But I will be very happy to actually fight them. It's like I think Fnatic and Liquid upgraded the rosters a lot. I can't say the same about anyone else in EU right now, especially looking at the Group A when like EU teams went out like as fast as possible, basically. But yeah, I think Liquid and Fnatic can be contenders even winning this tournament. Well, they have like roster update. Like first time after a switch, you should be playing like twice better than before. Yeah. And on a distance, we will see.
Dude, I think you guys have. I mean, I'm looking through the brackets right now. Yeah, safe to say, the top 3 EMEA teams are all on your guys' side. I feel like. I mean, I think you guys might have the hardest area of the bracket too, out of the entire tournament. If I'm being quite honest, so you guys have Crew to start, potentially Liquid, and then potentially Leviathan, who everyone I've talked to so far says that team is just straight heat. I mean, what are your thoughts on teams in this region? Have you gotten any scrims against teams that have similar play styles to Leviathan? Because, I mean, they were stratted up at Champions. I really digged how they were running like triple initiator a lot, particularly on Ascent.
No, we didn't play it against SA teams too much. Mostly we're playing against like Asia, NA, obviously you. But I also heard the same stories as you. I heard Leviathan are super dangerous now. And about the bracket, I felt that you can look at both ways. Everyone else who playing us have a really hard bracket, right?
That's
true. I would look at this way. So
I mean, you're one of the teams that make it hard, right? So
yeah. So, but let's be honest. Like this tournament is like, obviously I can't call it a show match. It's a tournament which everyone wants to win, but it's not that important as everything else which is gonna be this year. So the hard challenge, perfect. I'm here, like, you know, to test ourselves, to test what we can do against different opponents and different maps. If we're gonna lose, it's gonna be super sad, but not the end of the world.
Yeah. How do you manage like your expectations coming into an event like this? Because as CS players, we've never seen anything like it. Like a 32-team tournament, single elimination, best of 3. You're flying all the way to Brazil for like potentially one game. I mean, what are your expectations for something like this? You're in a new meta too. Like this is wild.
Like 2 new maps, 1 edge, and 32 teams, single elimination. Like, what expectations do you like?
Exactly.
What expectations you can have? I expect us to like just play our best game. It's like obviously we're here not going to be playing like 50% or 40%. We hate losing, and like I want to play Lotus for sure, just to feel it how it felt in tournament. Not sure we're gonna be picking it, but still, it would be super cool to test it out on LAN, right? What else? Like Split would be fun to play. It's like we bring not that many experimental comps for this tournament because of the format. But like no real expectations. Our goal is to win 2 games and see what's gonna happen after.
Okay, I have like 1 or 2 more questions for you. Who's frying right now in scrims for you guys? Like who should we be looking at? Yeah, like who's just destroying people in scrims? Like who's in really, really good form for you guys? Because you guys have some heavy hitters on this lineup. I mean, you guys just all take turns popping off.
No, everything as usual. There is like no heavy hitter, you know. Any of our players can like literally solo win a game on any of the roles they play. Shao, Sui, Sinet, Zipan, everyone. But the best players last 2 weeks is me. So basically, everyone is in danger.
Let's go, dude. I mean, if you're popping off top frag, and I feel like Navi's winning this tournament. No joke. That's teammates,
actually true.
your teammates are insane. Like, dude. Let me. I don't want to lose you yet. I want to lose you yet. I got questions for you. I just got to think.
Sure. I have nothing to do anyway. Next 20 minutes.
Okay. Who do you think are your key opponents in this particular bracket? Like, which teams are you, I wouldn't say most fearful of, but I mean most likely to make the deep run other than your team?
Winner of Fnatic Sentinels, I would say.
Oh, you think that's a big match?
I think it's a big match. Like if you watch on it like from the side, Fnatic have insanely good roster, and not only in terms of like names, but in terms of their roles. Yeah, they fit each other. There's like Sova player, Jet player, Cypher, good AGL, and they have to work. They have to perform this year. They have no other options. It's basically, and obviously it's maybe not on this tournament because first round Sentinels, who is also in a good shape, and single elimination bracket doesn't. Not the best way, you know, to like prove yourself. But in general, I expect Fnatic to do good this year, I would say.
Yeah. Do you think Fnatic takes that serious?
I have no idea. We didn't practice against them at all, so I can't say.
They always,
like, at least,
They remind me of like DRX. Those first games at a tournament against Fnatic. Bro, like they're just crazy. They bust out like crazy comps, crazy shit that you've never seen before. I feel like there's certain teams that I would never ever want to play in the first round, and Fnatic is usually like one of those teams when I watch these events. So I would lean towards Fnatic, even coming from NA. Like, I think it's hard to say that Sentinels can win that series with such little prac.
Why little?
They had problems getting the Brazilians over to NA, and I know that. I mean, the Tarek Ludwig event was probably like their first time practicing. I believe like they practiced like a couple times before that. They just haven't had a lot of time, and I know when you're playing against a team like Fnatic that's going to be stratted up, it's going to be rough. Like they're going to find themselves in weird scenarios that they're going to have to piece together on the fly.
But they're aiming very good. Like out of
Yes.
the game pracs we played, they're aiming really good.
Oh, you got to play against Sentinels.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That's good to know. And they'll have the crowd behind them too, because of Saucy and Kyedae.
Yes.
What do you think? What did you think of the crowd, by the way? Did you get to see the energy loud game?
It's hard to tell because I wasn't there, you know. I watched it on the screen, but it looked awesome. I'm really looking forward to play. It doesn't matter crowd for me, against me. Actually, I'm not even sure will the crowd cheer for crews that hard as for Brazilian team, like fully Brazilian teams, but I hope not.
Yeah. Dude, I think the crowd is going to be rooting for you guys if you go deep. Just because you guys are always so funny and like crowd favorites.
Let's hope.
Oh, dude. I never got to talk to you after the whole fiasco at Champions. Like, what were your thoughts about the whole like turret thing? Because you were there. That was insane.
It was just
dude.
a lot of emotions, like during the process of when we. Like it was super weird. It was like anger, looking for who is responsible, you know, because I never been in such situation before. We literally already went out, take our gear, like already waiting for a bus to go back to hotel.
Yeah.
And there's like just wait, guys, wait for an hour, please. We have something to like decide, and we wasn't even involved in the decision, you know. We just was informed in the end, so it was. Not the best moment of my life, but it ended well, so I'm good.
Yeah. Well, at least it ended the way that didn't have the whole world burning down. Because I feel like if you guys lost that game, it would have been awful. It would have been so bad. Oh man, I'm so thankful that didn't happen. Yeah, I just have one question for you, I guess, and is there anything that we should look out for from your team, like throughout this event? You guys got any crazy shit planned, like walkouts, crazy comps, crazy anything that you plan on calling? Do you guys have cool alt plays? Want to give us anything?
No.
Nothing. You got nothing. Yeah, you're not gonna give me shit.
Like I mean, nothing cool, you know. Like there is something prepared. There are some things there, but like nothing super cool, which can be announced now, you know.
Yeah. Dude, I'm looking forward. I'm gonna break down the shit out of your tape.
I hope you're gonna have a lot of matches to do so.
Dude, I'm pretty confident I will. Well, maybe after the liquid game. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can side you guys with liquid. That'll be a banger. I gotta see how they look.
True. No one knows, right?
Yeah, I'm excited because I've always been an EMEA diehard. But that's all I got for you, brother, and I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Best of luck and enjoy your time in Brazil. Stay safe out there.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying.
All right, peace out, bro.
Okay, see ya.
All right, chat. Dude, Angel's awesome. I love Angel. I need to get water before we go into the press conferences, which is why I had to end like a couple minutes early. Like, I can't even think, my mouth's so dry right now. Re-enable facecam in OBS. W employee. Yeah, cleaning everything up. How also too funny. You guys are fucking funny. Just
Recording in progress.
oh shit. Let's go. Wait, stop video. We don't need video for this, right? Press conference starting soon. Let's go. Can I get this shit working? Is this even possible? I can do this. I can do this, chat. That good? I think I'm good. Change my profile pic to something dumb. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Hold up. Let me cook. Let's see what I got. I've got this. I got this. This. And this. The hell is all this stuff doing on my computer? And this. And this. And this. And this. Am I like 5 years old? Like, what is this? Oh, that just looks really cool. I just saved that because it looks really cool. This. This. Cypher Winter Riot. How do we do it? Where? How do we do it? How do I choose my shit? Profile? Dude. Bro, like, people are just trying to come in the room right now. Just. Did it save? My God, dude. Wait. They kicked me out? What's happening? Hold up.
Recording in progress.
Oh, wait. Ella wants to say hi to me real quick. Let's see. Okay. They kicked me out right away. No nipples in the breakout room. Why did you guys make me do that? That's actually... Nah, I'm gonna get kicked out. I'm a goner. This is embarrassing. This got me kicked out. Okay, hold up. Someone's trying to come through. Hello. Oh my God, I love that sweater. I love it. Whoa. Whoa. Say hi. Look at the sweater. She's got drip, guys. Look at this. Lunar New Year sweater. You have the rabbit on this sleeve. Wait, does this work? Yeah, this works. Look at the drip. Look at the drip. Sheesh. Say sheesh. right place, chat? Am I in the right place? Is it lagged out or did I unmute and just ask if anyone could hear me if I'm in the right place? I think I'm in the right place. I mean, look at all these people. Unless, of course, I'm lagged out and I'm just talking to myself. Which, honestly, based on today, might just be the case, you know? Might actually be the case. Do a message? Oh, well, that's nice. That was 2 minutes ago. So that's perfect. Let's clap. We clap. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Shadow ban. Yeah, they shadow banned me for this image you guys made me put as my fucking avatar. Look, Delirious, the chat shows this picture. This was not my doing, okay? I don't even have any say in the shit I do on this stream. Like, I'm just an NPC that's controlled by chat, okay? I don't have any control over this. What the world's bestseller book is? No. The picture makes me look qualified. Yeah. I could see that. Ridiculous. It's actually so ridiculous. Yeah. How did I do that last time? Make it so that way it didn't change to the person talking or whatever. Thank you. Down here, some shit. I have to do this and then pin like that, huh? Good call on that. My anxiety is rising about this whole cipher picture thing. Like, I don't.
All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to the Omega Stage Lock-In Pre-Event Press Conference. Today we are joined by XQQ of Zeta Division, Muggle from EDG, and Psycho from Sentinels. Members of the media had the option to pre-submit questions or ask them live. We will begin with the pre-submitted questions first. And the first question goes to XQQ from Sports Kida Kushal. Going forward with the Omega stage of VCT lock-in, Zeta is the only Japanese team remaining as Detonation Focus Me was eliminated in the Alpha half. Has it put you under a lot of pressure with the progression of the tournament?
XQQ コーチへの質問です。オメガブラケットでは、これから進行していく上で、ゼータディビジョンがもう日本のチームとしては、唯一のチームとなりました。この状況は何かプレッシャーのようなものを感じているのでしょうか。いかがでしょうか。
日本語で答えて大丈夫です。
大丈夫です。
日本チームラスト1人、1チームということで、大事な一戦ではあるんですけど、そこまで
there'll be a
日
translator.
本チームが、あと一つっていうところにプレッシャーはそこまで感じてません。で、どちらかというと、僕らは本当にマスターズ東京での結果が大事だと思っているので、このロックインブラジル、できるだけで吸収して、いい結果を持って帰りたいなと思ってます。
So being the only Japanese team in the tournament now, it's we do think that it is important to proceed in the
can't shave
tournament,
my eyebrow.
but we're not really feeling the pressure here. What's important for us is to be qualified for Masters Tokyo. So we want to absorb as much experience as possible in this tournament.
Thank you. Next question goes to Muggle from Sports Kida Kushal. After seeing FPX perform against Carmine Corp in the Alpha stage, how would you compare the quality of Valorant in China to the rest of the world?
这个问题想问一下 EDG 的 Margo 教练，
Good
在
question.
看了在阿尔法半区Fun Plus 和 KC 的一个比赛之后，您是怎么样来评判你们的一个实力对比其他赛区的一个实力呢？
看了上半区 Fun Plus 和 KC 的比赛，我个人的感觉是，其实这两个队伍的实力差距并没有到很大的程度，主要还是在经验和扶持上面的一些差距吧。下半区虽然说我们的对手100T 很强，现在暂时是北美第1的水平，但是我觉得如果我们正常发挥的话，应该也不会跟他们有太大的差距。
So after seeing the game between FPX and KC, personally, I would like to say for the abilities between the two teams, I can't see the huge difference. But the reason why FunPlus can't get a win is maybe the lack of experience and also their map pool. And for us in our bracket, we're going to face against 100 Thieves first, and definitely they are the strongest team and they're the #1 team in America recently. But I think if we perform normally, there may not be a huge difference between the abilities.
Thank you. Next question goes to Psycho from Dexerto Lewis. Halfway through this bracket stage,
That's
3
amazing,
NA teams
dude.
are already out. Did you expect more out of those teams? Do you think it puts more pressure on Sentinels and 100 Thieves to go far
Psycho's
in this tournament?
face.
I think it's an unfair question given the ridiculous format that we're kind of competing in here. I mean, half of the
shit.
teams are going home before you even play a match. So, yeah, I mean, there's going to be NA teams that win home unless they win all the way. in
Wait,
this side of
no,
the
that's
bracket.
not true. You do play a match.
As far as if it applies
Don
extra
is
pressure to us,
out here
no, I
fucking-
don't think. I don't
just
think any
came
of us
up
are
here-
feeling the pressure here. I agree with what he said. You know, we're just
What?
focused on qualifying to Tokyo.
Don
and
is out
winning.
here just
So this is
fucking-
one step along that process.
He's ready to just
We're trying to get as many
destroy people.
experiences scrimming and competing against international teams while we're here to prepare for the league when we get home.
Thank you. Next question, also for Psycho from Sports Kyedae. We already saw the new Sentinels roster perform for the first time at the Ludwig X Tarek Invitational. How much has the roster improved since then?
Well, at the Ludwig Tarek Invitational, we had about 4 to 5 days of practice. So obviously we're a completely different team right now. We've had a full month to get everybody situated in LA and really flesh out our protocols, communication, punch through the language barrier with our Brazilian players, and start developing our strategic depth, which I think we've done a great job of so far. And I'm excited to show what we have been working on in these upcoming matches.
Thank you. That was all for the pre-submitted questions. We will now open the floor to questions from remote media. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you'd like to ask a question, and we'll call on you. First question, Scott Robertson at .esports.
Wait.
Thank you. This question is for Coach Psycho. In previous events, while with XSET, you somewhat took on a bit of an antagonist role with the crowd at times, but now with Sasi and Pancada on the team here in Sao Paulo, there's a strong chance the crowd's going to be behind you in your upcoming match against Fnatic. What impact do you foresee the crowd having in your upcoming match?
We're excited for the crowd. You know, we know we're not a home team, but we do have, you know, players who live here. Sasi literally lives in Sao Paulo, so we're really excited for the crowd support. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be an antagonist. It just means I'm not going to be doing it towards the crowd. Hopefully the crowd will be on our side and will help us in antagonizing the enemies.
Thank you. Next question goes to Antonio from Nerditude.
Hi, my question is for AGH for Ethos Gaming. Ethos Gaming is one of the guests from the Chinese region, which has just joined. How is the team feeling knowing that everyone has their eyes on the day?
这个问题想问一下 EDG 的 Margo 教练，其实这一次 EDG 也是受邀参加了这次的赛事嘛？那其实有很多人来关注着你们，然后所以说你有什么样的一个感觉呢？
这一次我们是代表我们赛区的2个队伍其中一支，我们是也是打那个年终那个积分赛上来的队伍，所以我觉得我们要把握好这次来之不易的那个机会，赛场上好好表现自己。
Georgia Summit PFP. Oh god.
So for us, EDG is one of the two representatives here. And also we are the guest, and definitely we are going to focus on our own performance and try our best in this tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Solgi at VLR/BlitzGG.
Oh, they're going down the
Hello,
list.
this question is
I'm
from
next.
Muko. So with the chamber nerf being implemented into the game, how has this affected the rules for Kong? And what can we expect to see him on now in 2023?
这个问题想问一下 EDG 的 Marco 教练，其实是上博了这个英雄是现在有得到一些削弱的，所以想问一下，可能康它整体的一个定位会发生怎样的一个转变？可能在2023年我们能期待怎样的一个康呢？
这个英雄一开始我们是作为舰队核心去使用的，然后因为它正好跟康的那个象性很足，但是后边这个经过一连串的版本削弱之后，我们再强行拿这个英雄就会显得有点阵容上面会显得有点弱，所以也只是让康去打回他以前擅长的决斗位置，整体上队伍不会有太大的变化。
Definitely, I must say Chamber is a very important agent for the whole team because we treated this agent as the core for the whole team. And also this agent can really fit into Kong's playstyle so well, but definitely Chamber got nerfed a bit through the metas. And also if we just would like to pick this champion, we may not have a very good composition. So we just would like to change Kong's role. Maybe he can play different champions.
All right, thank you. Next question comes from Sean Garris.
Yo, what's up, Don? You're looking good out there. So this one's coming at you.
Good to hear from you, buddy. Am I on? Hello? What's up, Sean? How you doing, buddy?
Yo, what's good, man? I'm curious what you think of the current meta after watching the alpha bracket. We saw a lot of chambers, but more importantly, we saw Loud have a lot of success with double duelist. You have Tenz and Zek on your roster. Is that something, and you even experimented with it at the Ludwig Tarek Invitational. Is that something we expect to see more of throughout this tournament? Both of those players playing duelist, or is Tenz going to be moving more towards initiator going forward?
Yeah, I think the meta is in an interesting spot. I think a lot of people were trying to figure it out coming into this tournament, both individually and per region. And I think that we've kind of seen the meta solidify per region. And now this is the first international event, and we're kind of seeing what's working and what's not, right? So yeah, Loud whipping out the double duelist. We've seen some other teams doing it in practice. We're a team that plans to have a lot of depth, and that includes in compositions. So yeah, I mean, we'll have some double duelist comps in the back pocket. We'll have some initiator comps in the back pocket. I don't want to reveal too much, but we're going to be ready for anything. And we see what these teams are running, and we know who's running what and how to play against that. And we have game plans in place to deal with these different teams and what they're running. So I think you guys will be excited to see what we have cooked up and how it develops, not just initially, but as we go along throughout the tournament and throughout the league this year.
Let's go. They have multiple comps. Where'd it go?
Thank you. Next question from Brandon at Esports GG.
Where'd it go?
Thank you. I'll address this to Psycho. You just kind of mentioned what you guys cooked up. So this brings me to kind of your partner in crime and leading the charge. Def, you were with him, from XSET to now. I just kind of want to ask you, how has he adapted to the IGL role with these new players? And what kind of evolution have you seen from him in that role since his time on XSET to now?
He's always been a tremendous IGL. I mean, that's why I picked him up on XSET to begin with, was his in-game leading ability. I mean, I saw him as a 9 or 10 out of 10 off the bat as far as in-game leading went, and then it was just a matter of adapting our strategies and gameplay around how he likes to call and kind of fleshing that out and adding the cryo piece down the line on XSET. So here on Sentinels, I had a lot of faith bringing him in the IGL role. I still think he's doing phenomenal. I think with Sassy and Pankata, with Sassy and Pankata, we punched through that language barrier, and they're reacting to his calls very well right now. And I think that we're in a very good spot. I think that Def in particular doesn't get enough credit individually for what he does. I think a lot of people look at IGLs and just see, well, how hard can they frag? And I don't think that's fair. It's all about team performance and wins. And Rory led a team to top 5, top 6 at Champions last year, and he has no plans to stop right now. So he's firing on all cylinders. The team's firing on all cylinders. We're ready to go.
I agree. I think Def is an insane IGL. That is so
Thank you
slept
very
on.
much. Next question comes from GameSpark.
はい。XQQ コーチに質問があります。チェンバーの弱体化が入って久しいのですが、現在のメタの印象を教えてください。またそのメタの移り変わりがチームにとってどのような、影響というか、チーム作りに影響を与えたか教えてください。
もう先答えちゃっていいですか？そうですね、なんか、メタが変わったっていうよりは、本当に1個、2個前ぐらいのメタに戻ったような印象が僕持ってるので、今までチェンバーメタでほとんどのチームが、チェンバーを使ってきたんですけど、今がそれが、ジェットだったりキルジョイになっただけかなと思ってます。で、僕ら全員そのメタを通ってきているので、昔のプレーを思い出しつつ、今の新しいバロラントのメタに適応しつつ、問題なくやれてると思います。
Question is, since the chamber nerf, the meta has changed quite a bit. What is your impression on the current meta, and how did it affect the team composition? And his answer is, we think that the meta is nothing new. It's more like coming back to one or two metas, reverting back to
Okay.
one or two metas
I was like,
before.
dude, are these
So
fuckers
we've
about to
been there,
just
we've seen it
jam
all.
chamber
So,
picks down our
we now
throat?
see the Jet and Killjoy, so it's just a matter of refreshing our memories and adapting back.
Yeah, my lips
Thank
are
you.
dry
Next
as hell.
question from Alan.
Yep. So this question is for Margot, and I'll ask first in English. So my question is, so actually you and EDG both, most players, this is your second time to go into an international stage. You have the last experience in 2022 Champions. So what is the biggest difference?
Yeah, I kind of like it that way, where they just ask the question and answer, and then just all the translation
what is
comes
the
out.
biggest learning
I like
from
that.
last time? Margot 你好，我是 Alan，我就直接用中文问了。我想问的是，就是
They might be on the
因为你
next
们
one.
其实你和绝大多数的 EDG 的选手
Who's
都
the
已经
fourth
有
coach
上
that
一
we're
次的
missing?
冠军赛的
Do
经
we
验了，
know?
这是你们第二次国际
I
的
missed
比赛
that.。
那你觉得你们现在跟上一次最大的不同是什么？或者说你们从
Did
上
they
一次
say
最多
who's the
学习到
fourth
什么？
coach that we're missing is?
我们跟上一次，我觉得区别在于一个训练的那个质量和态
Mini.
度上面。
Oh no.
这边
Why
的
are we missing
训练质量
Mini?
会比上一次
Mini's such a
稍
good
微
coach to
强
talk
一点，因为我
to.
们都是靠
I
在
guess
一个
I would have felt
屋子里
awkward
的训练
asking
室，
two
一个大的训练室，然
questions.
后我们约训练赛也很方便，我们去隔壁敲敲门就可以约
Am
到。
I rooting for
上
Sentinels
次
or
的话，我们还要通
Fnatic?
过网站，然后还
I'm
有一些队伍
rooting
他
for
们也不会
Sentinels,
上网站那些
but
或者撞时间之类的。
I think
然后
Fnatic is favored.
剩下的，我觉得这一次的选手的训练赛的训练的心态上面会比上次要放松很多。
They
上次
do
有点
wave,
太
so
紧
I'm
绷了，
sure
然后
Mike will be on
打
like
出来
the
的内
next
容也会
one.
显得很紧绷。这一次我感觉我们的心态是比上次放缓的，所以我认为我们赛场上的表现也会比上次更好。
好的，谢谢。
Yeah.
So
Can
the
I interview
answer
SK
from the
Rossi
coach Margot
one-on-one?
was, so from
So
compared
they
to
only
the last
asked
time,
me
I
for
must say
one
the
person
quality of our
for each
practice and
group.
also the
And for the
attitude
first
from all
group,
the
I like
players
gave
are
them like
better
3
and better.
options
Because
just in
this time it's
case.
easy for
And
us to
both times they
do
gave me my
scrims with
top
other
person.
teams because all
I
of
asked for
us are in
Benkai
a
and
very
Angel, and they gave me
huge
both, which is
arena.
so
It's
cool.
super easy for us
Like,
to just maybe to knock the door for
because
our
obviously I
neighbors
just
and
like
we can just
nerding
get
out a lot
some
with
scrims
in-game
with
leaders
other
and hearing their
teams.
thoughts.
Because last time we need to went into the website and to try to have some scrims with other teams. And also
Stellar will
for
be
the
doing it.
men's
Wait,
side,
really?
I
It's not
must
the
say
coach.
this time all the players, we have very relaxed men's side because last time all of us were a bit stressful. So with a very good men's side, we can perform better on stage, I believe.
好的，谢谢夏。
Thank you. Next question from Esports World.
e スポーツワールドの井ノ川です。XQ コーチに質問があります。日本に親交のある DRX もアイスボックスでピックしていた新エージェントのハーバーですけれども、XQ コーチから見て、ハーバーのポテンシャルをどのように感じてますか？
ハーバーのポテンシャルに関しては、アイスボックスがちょっと特別だと思っていて、僕たちももともと、
That's important to know. Because this was a big speculation
セージとバイパーの代わ
based
りに
on
ハーバーを
like
一
the
人一
verbiage
択
in the
で起用す
video.
るみたいな
Even I kind of
こと
thought
も考え
that.
てはいたんですけど、やっぱり DRX はメタの先行を行くというか、 綺麗な形で収めてきてたので、本当にこう、まあ、尊敬
Me out an animal roll.
できますね。
So DRX has been experimenting a lot with the harbor composition on Icebox. What do you think of the potential of this agent? The answer is yes. In Icebox, we think that this map is just special. We've always also been experimenting with trading Sage and Viper into harbor as well. But we think that DRX always are ahead of the game in terms of experimenting with the new metas and new compositions. So I have lots of respect for him.
That's a lot of insight. That means that they're
Thank you.
believers in
Next
Harbor.
question from George Geddes.
That's a lot. Wow.
Hello. Okay, it's on. I have a question for Don. I would say you look incredible, my friend. Although I don't know how hot you are in the arena there. I wouldn't be in a suit personally, but obviously got to keep up appearances. All right, fair enough. You got to keep up appearances. I understand.
That's right.
So my question will be about your opinion on your opponents. Obviously, you're coming up against Fnatic. Pretty tough matchup. Obviously, first of all, you will be coming out of the gates against arguably one of the best teams at the tournament. So I wanted to ask you, have you identified any weaknesses going into the match that you think that that you can exploit on this team?
What am I doing?
I think it's less about weaknesses. They're pretty well-rounded team.
I'm actually.
I mean, very good team, right? They took 5th, 6th at Champions, just like Xset.
I'm
right?
boomed.
We finished right alongside
I'm
each other.
boomed right now.
Head-to-head. So I have a lot of respect for those boys. A lot of respect for Boaster as a caller. But for us, yeah, it's less about weaknesses, more about just identifying tendencies and reactions. And we know how these guys like to play. We understand how Boaster likes to call, and we hope to lean on some of those things.
They understand how Boaster likes to call.
We know they bolstered their roster a bit in the off season. They're looking pretty sharp, but so have we, and we are too. So it's going to be a good matchup, possibly the best first round matchup in the entire tournament. I think either way, it'll be one hell of a match, but we're feeling very confident.
I like hearing that from Don, that they know how Boaster likes calling.
Thank you. Next question for Game Watch.
Okay, so my question go to XQ, and I'll ask it in Japanese. XQ コーチに質問なんですけれども、まず、先ほどのお話でいろんな吸収をしたいということがあったんですけれども、現地で、他のチームと何か練習であるとか、スクリーンみたいなことっていうのはできているのかというのが一つ目と、
what I'm thinking when he says that is like that Don or someone on Sentinels has watched a lot of Fnatic VODs and they understand that like, hey, on pistols, they might hit B, on the ecos, they might hit B, on the bonus, they might hit B, but the first like true gun, they'll hit A, like patterns like that. Or on a bonus, they play aggressive all the time, or they push extremities. Or when they have certain pieces of util, they place it. Like how they use initiator util. Some teams use it to net kills. Some teams use it for info. And what does that mean for the rotations? There's so many things that could mean. And it's just an interesting thing that Don said.
情報がない状態での試合になるので、いかに自分たちの強みを押し付けつつ、試合中に適応していくかっていうのが、大事になってくるかなと思います。
So the question is, XQQ coach, you have mentioned that you would like to absorb as much experience as possible in this tournament. How has the team been doing in the scrimming? And second question is, towards your first opponent of your time, how have you been preparing? And the answer was, in Brazil, we have been scrimming with the local teams, but not as much as we have hoped for. So it's the absolute minimum that I have to say. And in terms of the preparation for Leviathan, it's the same condition for all of the opponents in first matchup, but as we have not much information of the opponents, our focus is to just play our games and focus on our strength and to adapt as much as possible within the gameplay.
All right, thank you. Due to the interest of time, we'll take Jinx, then Elizabeth, and then see if there's any questions in the room. Jinx?
Hello. My question is to Edward Gaming's coach. First of all, good luck with your upcoming games. My question is, Valorant has arrived in China later than rest of the world. How is the team practicing to close the gap that may be there in terms of like skill and scrims, etc.? And how much do you think login event will help doing it?
I'll answer your guys' questions in a
这个
second.
问一下，这个问题要问一下 EDG 的一
try-
个Margo 教练。那或许教练觉得现在整个中国的一个那个无畏契约的整体的一个程度和
That
其
shit
他赛区相
vanilla.
比，会不会有一些差距？那怎么样能够在你们的技能啊或者
If
能力
all
方
of
面
our
来得到
questions
提
were ice
升呢？
cream
你有什么样属于
flavors,
自己的一些
that one
看法？
is vanilla. What do you think
技
mine
能和
was?
能力是指
Mine was probably like
是你们整体的个人
some
实力
bad
啊，或者
flavor,
说
like
一些能力的方面。
butterscotch or some shit.
首先我们那个这边的那个总体
No,
的
they just said they're only gonna do like one more
队
question
伍
for
质
this
量肯
group,
定跟
and then
别
they're
的
gonna
赛
be the
区
next
都
group
是
in.
比不了的，差距可以说是比较大。然后头部队伍的水平其实也是通过一直跟亚洲多
Yeah,
个
it's
有
like
DRX
yeah,
这
yeah,
种
yeah.
顶
He's
级的
definitely
对
giving some
手
good
跟他们可以
answers.
一直
I
交流，
agree.
所以我们才能迅速的提升。不然我们一直局限在那一个地区，我们互相练的话，其实水平会有
Yeah, I feel like no
一
one's
个上限的
rating
限制。
global.
然后我们现在
Cucumber flavored ice
个人实力上面
refreshing
主要
yet also
看队伍的那个
terrible.
整体队员的象性是偏向于打团队性的，还是说可能
Yo,
风格比较
butterscotch
张
really
扬的？
struck a nerve
然后
with the
根据这
chat.
种
God damn, I never even had
队员的
butterscotch ice
风格
cream.
来
I
决
just
定
kind of
队
just
伍
said a
的
flavor.
风格整体的走向是偏向于类似于双决斗这种比较狂野的路线，还是说我们打双烟体这种比较偏向于打默认这种进攻的那个路线？
What does that emote
So
mean?
the answer from the coach is, I think locally for the quality of all the teams, definitely we have a huge gap with other regions. And also, I would like to give my thanks to teams like DRX because definitely they are one of the top teams in Asia. And because we can have some scrims with those top teams like DRX, it's really helped us a lot to improve on our own skills and our own abilities.
So much respect for DRX
Otherwise,
here.
we can just reach the ceiling of our ability. And
I guess
also
they
in
did
terms of our playstyle,
make it to semis.
it really depends on the player's playstyle because we need to decide whether the players they play super aggressively or the players can more play around the macro to play like a whole. Because if the players have a very aggressive playstyle, maybe we can choose two duelists comp, or if the players would like to play more as a team, maybe we can have two controllers inside the map.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth?
Yes.
think
Hello.
last
Can you hear me?
question.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Then my question is for Psycho. Hello. I hope everything's going well down there. You spoke a little bit earlier in the press conference about the quote ridiculous format. My question for you is a single Elim tournament a fair way to determine an extra slot for Masters for a region?
Why
I
they
would
do him
not have
like
made that
this?
decision.
Why do they do him like this?
But
They
I
want him to
understand
be the
Riot
bad
has
guy.
Extenuating circumstances, and they have to make the best decision to put on the best event for the fans that they possibly can.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
That's a bait question, is what that is.
Are there any
they want
online
the
side
bait,
questions?
and he thought about it. He took a deep breath and was like,
All right. Well, that concludes our first press conference of the day. Thank you very much for joining
PR,
us, and we'll be back with our next conference shortly.
Yeah. That was a good answer by him. That was a good answer. That was a good answer. So the question was, would you define IGLing as instinct driven or information driven? I think it's a little bit of both. I think the best teams will have strats where, their initiators might get some info and you have reactive protocols off of that info. Just from playing the game so many times, like you create these protocols to deal with the information that you receive. But then there's other times where, say, like, you don't have ability. Say, like, you're on Fracture and the game we watched yesterday where they were knifing A main on Fracture, and it would get like nothing. So they would just like take space A main with like 1 or 2 people. And then they would like eventually call back the team, and they would walk out A or walk out tree of B. Those are instinctual plays where you are given a lot of ground. And you could argue that it's the same style, right? Like you're using the lack of info from the initiator utility to create this play. But instinctually, you know that, hey, if there's a guy's sight, he probably would have made noise. He would have used an ability, this or that. If there is someone there, it has to be this agent or that agent because of the reasons that I previously mentioned. And those create instinctual plays. So it's not like these instinctual plays just like come out of thin air. It's from massive amounts of reps, and you're just like a computer, you know, like you've seen some kind of scenario play out a million times in your scrims, and based on those experiences, your instincts tell you that this and this and that is going to happen. And usually those instincts jive well with your teammates because they've experienced those same things. That's part of the reason why, like, when you watch new teams or teams that don't prac a lot, it looks like a shit show because those things aren't talked about or discussed yet. Best way to get better at reactive decision making in game? Think about it like ahead of time. Like, you really have to like think it through, right? I'll give an example, I guess. Let's see. I mean, let's just pick like a super basic map. Let's go with like Ascent or some shit where what can we do? We could do something like this. We could put both initiators here because we've been seeing this a lot. Let me see, like Jets a lot. Let's actually take Omen out just for the sake of this. Okay, this is decent. So, I mean, like, you're this KO. You do like the cannon knife, or you do the knife that goes here. This one's actually probably like a little bit more in tune with what I'm about to say. So I'll just go with this. So you dart off the wall for that. You also have a KO knife that's landing like late there. This dart will let you know if anyone is initially going to be peeking main, right? Because it bounces quick. This will let you know if anyone lurks into wine or is obviously within this radius, you know, typically on the right side of main. So you're getting a lot of info there from that. Now imagine essentially what you need to do to get good at reacting to this is, well, what happens if, you know, like this recon pings one peeking or two peeking, say, or you hear 2 people shoot. The knife also like detects like, you know, like 2 to 3 people. What does that mean? What do we do? Right? Well, if you get a main after that, which you can easily do with a comp like this, right? I mean, what we saw, I mean, even DRX do is they put a star, say like here, like, which is basically like, hey, if this initiator util gets stuff, you better be watching out because we're about to turn this star into a grab well and punish the hell out of you for pushing a main. So don't push a main. Like, and our info, when we get it, is going to mean that we have that, right? Like we have this ground and we know that shit. So that's why they put the star there. In addition to that, like, so, say like this shit gets like nothing. What happened? What does it mean if it gets nothing? Well, if it gets nothing, well, I would be very, very nervous that they're doing like some kind of mid collapse or they're pushing B, because you're essentially saying like no one on our defensive team is pushing mid, no one's going wide, no one's like close main, so there's might be like one in sight, you know, like, well, what does that mean if there's like one in sight? Well, oh shit. You know, like just thinking through
everyone.
all of these
We
things.
are
like
back with the lock-in pre-event press conference for the Omega stage. For the second conference, we are joined by
and that's when you get into
Melzer
like
of
smoking
Crew
mid,
Esports,
recalling
Angel
cat,
from
all that
Navi,
shit, you know?
King from
Recall mid, smoke
Leviathan,
cat.
Laz from Zeta, and Dep also from Zeta. So we'll start with pre-submitted questions
Wait,
first.
2 people
The
from
first
Zeta? What the
question
hell's going
goes
on
to
here?
Angel from NK at the Spike GG. Now representing Navi, you've kept your whole FPX roster apart from artists. How does Cena differ from artists in terms of playstyle, and what can we expect to see from him throughout the season?
Sinet is more explosive kind of duelist. He likes to take duels. He know how to do it. He likes to take risk and
We can't
winning
even
more
see
than
him.
losing. So
I see.
I would say he's more aggressive in terms of his play style.
I didn't even see Angel
and it's
over
very
there 'cause
interesting to
all
play
the
with
shit was
him
blocking.
and learn
I
how
was
to fit
so
him into
confused.
our team. It's like super interesting.
Thank you. Next question goes to Laz from Gosu Gamers. So you'll be facing against Leviathan, which performed better than Zeta in Valorant Champions 2022, and that they might have more fans on the ground. What would be the number one key factor for Zeta to secure a victory?
翻訳入りますこれ。
入ります。ラズ選手への質問です。初戦の相手は、レビアタン、去年のチャンピオンズでは、よりゼータディビジョンよりは結果を残したチームとなります。ゼータディビジョンが、今回この初戦において、勝利をつかむための、一番重要なことは何だと思いますか？
そうですね。まず、レビアタンは非常に強いチームっていうのは、昔からよく知っていて、対戦するのが、まずめちゃくちゃ楽しみにしています。で、そうだな。ちょっと、真横にいる状態で喋るのは、なんか変な感じがするんですけど、やっぱり自分たちが準備してきたものをしっかりぶつける必要もあるし、試合を通して、うまく修正、試合中に修正するクリエイティブさも非常に大事だなと思ってます。はい。
So first of all, we've known Leviathan for being, we've known them for a long time, that they're a very strong team. So it's, we're very excited to face against them. And it's kind of weird to be speaking about this right beside, for him sitting right beside me. But I think in terms of preparation, all we can do is to make sure to adapt well within the game and to show some creativity while playing.
Thank you. Next question goes to Dep, also from Gosu Gamers. In your bracket at VCT lock-in, which team would present the most threat to Zeta and why?
デプ選手への質問となります。同じブラケットの中で、最もゼータディビジョンに対して、脅威となりうるチームはどのチームか、教えてください。
ブラケットわかんないですよ。
That's it? That's all you're gonna give us? What is he saying?
そうです。
No, what is it? What do they talk about on them? Shiki. Yo, Mike Wan, thanks for the 16 months.
いやでも、やっぱりレビアタンが一番危険かなって思います。
Yes, we
sick,
believe
to
that
be fair.
Leviathan is going to be our biggest threat.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much. Next question goes to Melser from Sports Kyedae Kushal. You have the chance to face your ex-roster at the semifinals of the Omega stage. What are your expectations for that matchup?
Mitchell's face is so funny.
Va a jugar contra el rostro anterior de usted en semifinal de Omega. No sé qué expectativa tienes sobre este partido.
Siempre jugar contra un equipo que se conoce lo hace mucho más difícil y entretenido porque creo que se empieza con los mind games y saber lo que está haciendo el rival requiere llevar el juego más allá, más profundo para poder sorprenderlo, así que sería muy entretenido tener un duelo contra ellos en el torneo.
I'm asking
I
questions
believe
too.
that
I just don't really have any that I can think of off the top of my head for these guys.
having tournament with one team that you already know, it makes it more difficult because there's additional to traditional
I have to
things
see
that you
them
need to
play.
focus on the games. There will be mind games
I guess I
in order
could
to
ask
make them
them.
rival, and it will be more interesting for me in order to have it more have more required skills in order to have match with them.
Thank you. Now we'll open the floor for questions from remote media. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you'd like to ask a question. First question from Roldy, Agentes de Línea.
That's Angel, another question.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. I have one question for each LATAM representative. So if that's okay, I'm going to start with Mercer. ¿Qué tal, Mercer? Hubo muchos cambios en crew en los últimos meses. Tienen un roster prácticamente nuevo y a nivel personal tienes el reto de ser el IGL en este equipo. ¿Cómo afrontas tú ese desafío y cómo se ha adaptado el equipo a ti ocupando ese rol?
Buena. Creo que el cambio o usar hacer el papel de IGL no me pesa mucho. El equipo siempre se ha manejado durante una estructura y todos tenemos conocimiento de qué se debe hacer con esa estructura, así que el guiar a los demás es prácticamente solo decirlo porque cada uno sabe qué hacer, pero el que todos sepamos qué hacer hace el juego mucho más fácil y el cargo de IGL lo hace mucho más liviano, así que estoy tranquilo con ese papel y los chicos se han acomodado muy bien al juego, así que eso.
Gracias. Can I do a quick one for King?
Yes.
Sí.
¿Qué tal, King? Bien, el año pasado en Masters, Copenhague y en Champions considero que mostraron a todo el mundo que son capaces de vencer a cualquier equipo prácticamente y que son un grupo con un techo altísimo. ¿Qué ha cambiado en estos meses de preparación en el equipo para aspirar a tener incluso mejores resultados en este año?
Bueno, básicamente los cambios que quiso implementar el staff técnico al equipo fue un poco como para querer buscar o puchear, por así decirlo, los límites del equipo en sí, para donde se hicieron dos picks, que fue a Nosware y Masino, donde básicamente fueron escogidos con pinzas, como para tener a lo que le compete al staff el equipo más fuerte. Y como bien tú dijiste, somos un equipo con un techo muy alto y creo que hemos podido crecer muchísimo más en ese ámbito gracias a eso.
Muchas gracias. Mucha suerte a ambos.
Thank you very much. Next question from Solgi at VLR and Blix GG.
This question is from Melzer. So you recently decided to add Ishedi into the roster in place of Klaus as part of your strategy while you take up Klaus's role as IGL. If you could, is it possible to give a bit more of an explanation behind the roster changes?
Dirige a Mercer, decidiste recientemente agregar a Shady como parte del roster y creo que hubo varios cambios de roster. No sé si nos podría explicar brevemente en qué consisten los cambios de roster.
Siempre los cambios son por las necesidades y las comodidades que el equipo necesita, así que solamente el staff decidió que Accedi encajaba de mejor manera en el momento en que estamos entrenando con este lineup, así que solo fue eso, una decisión de staff referente a una necesidad.
Well, the changes in the roster is already always based on necessity and commodity of the team in order to practice and to win. So I think the staff decided that it is the best moment to realize such changes in the roster, and I think that's what basically is the lineup based on decisions and necessities.
Thank you. Next question from Brandon at Esports GG.
Thank you. I'll ask this to Angel. Last year with FPX, you guys had a really solid year. Unfortunately not able to play at Masters Reykjavik, but awesome showings at the other international events. You mentioned that kind of key change with CNED now on the team instead of Artis. I just would like to ask you if you think you guys are able to carry that momentum over into this year, or if you believe it truly is a complete fresh start, with the partnership era in Valorant and the change of scenery now on Navi.
I don't think it's possible to carry something from the last year for anyone here because the competition becomes like 3 times harder. All the organizations basically gathered the best rosters they possibly could at this moment, and I think for anyone who wants to win this year, at least some tournament, they need to work like 3-4 times harder than previous.
Thank you. Next question from Esports World.
e スポーツワールドの井川です。ラズ選手に質問があります。日本と比べてサンパウロは暑くて湿度も高いと思いますけれども、体調の変化とかゲームプレイに影響は出そうでしょうか？また会場の雰囲気はいかがですか？
そうですね。まずめちゃくちゃ暑いんですけど、まあそんなに外出る機会もなくて、ホテル間の移動とかも、冷房の効いたバスとか車用意してくれて、大丈夫そうです。はい。ただまあちょっと体調悪くしちゃった人もいるんで、大会までには治ると思って。はい。で、そうだな、まあちょっと会場はまだ入ってないんで分かんないのがあるんですけど、湿度もそうだし、気温とかもすごいらしいんで、ちょっと警戒してますね。
ありがとうございます。
So this question is for Laz. So compared to Japan, I feel that Sao Paulo is very humid and hot. How is this going to be affecting your gameplay? And if you had taken a look at the venue, what did you think of it? And the answer is yes, it's definitely hotter in here. But because we've only been traveling back and forth between the hotel and the practice room, and lots of AC in there, so not really feeling the hotness here. But I hear that the venue itself is pretty humid and the temperature is hot. So hopefully it won't affect our gameplay.
Thank you. Next question from GameSpark.
When my question,
はい、ゲームスパークの岡野です。ラズ選手に質問があります。前回の世界大会から少し時間が空きましたが、その間、チームとしてどのような準備をして、時間を過ごしてきたのでしょうか。また、現在のチームの仕上がり、状態についてどのように評価していますか？
そうですね。まあ、メタがすごく変わって、それにうまく順応するのと、まあ、練習していく中でどの戦い方が一番強いのかな、今のメタに合ってるのかなっていうのを、すごく探しながら、この大会で、まあ、この大会で、このタイミングでベストな状態を出せるように練習してきましたね。でまあ、チームの状態も、全然悪くなくて結構いいなと思ってるので、はい、試合が楽しみです。
The question is for Laz. It's been a while since the last international tournament. How have you been using this time to prepare for the matches? And the answer is yes. There have been quite a bit of meta change, so we've been spending a lot of time to adapt and searching for the best composition that we can right now. And in terms of the preparation for the team, we are pretty confident about the preparation that and how far the team has come for the matches here.
Thank you. Next question from Sons of KS Latam.
Thank you very much. And this question goes to Angel. Hello, dude.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. To not see you.
Oh, I'm next. I think.
It's a
Nice to
pleasure.
see you, bro.
Let's go.
Nice to hear you too. You know the Latino teams, and you beat them before. How do you feel prepared with another team to beat them again?
Oh shit.
I don't look at it like you said, like beating Latam or whatever. I look at each opponent per time, and I look forward to a match with Crew. They look pretty strong. They made some changes, so you can prepare properly, right? So basically, who prepared better gonna win this game, I think. Nothing special.
Thank you very much for the answer,
No
and
problem.
God bless you, dude.
God bless you, bro.
Thank you. Next question from Sean Garris.
Hi, my question is for King, actually. I'm curious because a lot of teams in the region respect Leviathan a lot and say that you guys are the team to look out for. What has your practice schedule looked like following champions to get to this level? And what are your thoughts on the new meta with Harbor and Chambers, stepping away? I mean, you guys had one of the best chambers in the world in Taco. So clearly something's working out. How do you feel about everything?
Yeah, I mean, the changes from meta affected us like it did to every team, just like last said. And yeah, like I said before, we made some changes to grow like a stronger team. And yeah, I mean, we've been practicing a lot. We've been doing our routine. I don't know if everyone knows it. And just like Angel said, we are working
like 3, 4, 5 times harder. And yeah, basically everything
Onar has these guys working
is fitting
so
in
hard.
its place. And with the role changes,
100%. These
Taka
guys
is
are
doing the to-do list role. He's adapting really good. And
These guys are gonna
basically it's that, and we've adapt really good to the roles. And yeah, I think you have been told that because I'll say that almost every training here in Brazil we had a really good scores. We played against a lot of NA teams. So yeah, I think it's something like that, and I'm really happy to hear that also from you.
Just didn't practice.
Thanks for the answer, man. Wow, dude, that's the Scrimbucks line of the year.
Yeah, thank you.
They're just
Mi pregunta
trashing
es para
teams in
Melzer.
scrims, and
Bueno,
he's saying it.
es un poco relacionada a lo que le preguntaban antes a
No,
a
I got
Angel,
goosebumps.
si ustedes
I'm
lo ven con una
scared
especie de
for them,
revancha
bro.
al
I'm
enfrentar a
scared
Navi,
for them.
que en verdad
That
es un poco
never
FPX,
plays out well.
y sobre todo sobre el proceso de mejora que han tenido desde la Red Bull Home
Oh, you
Ground,
got caught
sobre
like
todo
a
con los cambios de
dog
equipo.
by King.
Bueno, el roster un poco.
Bro.
O sea, yo personalmente lo veo como un partido más. Cualquier rival que me enfrente siempre lo voy a ver como solamente un rival, no de que va a ser una revancha o algo así.
Oh my God.
Y
Yeah, no
obviamente
Scrimbucks
estamos
team
mucho mejor
ever wins,
y
guys.
hemos cambiado bastante
Oh,
desde
man.
el torneo de la Red Bull donde no estuve presente. Así que eso, estoy
He said that they
confiante.
haven't like
Contra cualquier
lost a
equipo que me enfrente voy a
scrim.
estar confiante y solamente
They're
hay que
just owning.
enfocarse en el trabajo propio que siempre va a dar el mérito.
They're just
Super, gracias.
incredible, apparently.
May I make another question to King? Please?
Yeah, sure.
Super. Bueno, la pregunta es un poco parecida, pero sobre todo creo que Leviatán es bastante peculiar porque tiene 6 jugadores.
What's
Y
the video?
sobre todo el caso de Kesnit, que podría ser el sexto player, que bien podría ser titular en cualquier equipo. Es decir, tienen como una baraja grande de opciones en el roster. Entonces, me gustaría saber cómo es que han trabajado con eso a lo largo de estos
Pues
sí, de estos meses y sobre todo cómo han mejorado desde Latam Cuts, que creo que fue el último torneo como, digamos, un poco oficial que tuvieron.
Sí.
Oh, man,
Digo,
this team is gonna be
como bien
insane.
dijiste, Kesnit, uno de los mejores jugadores del mundo.
His English
Creo
was
que
so
algo
good, by the way.
innegable.
That
todos lo
threw me
saben.
off guard when he just responded in English. I
De
was like,
hecho,
yo, what? He just
lo
immediately
hemos
took the
hablado
question.
con Onur, que es difícil
Oh,
tener
did
a un
he?
jugador así que
That's
no
dope,
siempre
Pally.
está de titular, por así decirlo. Pero nada, estamos por ahora en este torneo con un core
Okay. Thank you.
ya
Thank you.
establecido.
We can check it
También
out. We'll check out that video after the break.
siempre
I'm
todas
sorry
las
if I can
decisiones
time that
de
right
roster
there.
o quién va a jugar son meramente
I
del
can't
staff
untime it
técnico.
out. Sorry, man.
Y nada, decidimos el core sin que ni por ahora porque Onur vio que era lo mejor por ahora. Y nada, creo que se va bastante bien, pero nada, a futuro no se sabe nada. Tú bien lo dijiste, somos 6 jugadores, cualquiera puede jugar en este roster. Y especialmente Kesnit, que individualmente probablemente es el mejor de todo el equipo. Así que nada, esperemos a lo que para el futuro y ver qué es lo que pasa.
Super,
Dude,
muchas gracias. Y
I'm
nada,
so
solo por último,
disappointed in myself.
no sé,
I
que
can
el
like
hype
pick
aquí en
up
Latam
random
está
words of
por los
Spanish
cielos y
these
que la
days,
verdad
but like
esperamos que les vaya súper
I used
bien.
to be able to like listen to something
Créeme
like
que toda
that
Latam los va a
and
estar
kind of
apoyando.
get an
Mucha
idea
suerte.
of what they were saying.
Gracias.
Just
Thank
because I took
you.
a lot
Next
of
question
Spanish.
from Nerditude, Antonio.
Hi,
I
my
understand
question is
words, but I can't push it
for
together, put it
Melzer.
together anymore. And he was even
Melzer,
saying,
hola, yo soy
he
de la
was
región
even
de
talking
Latinoamérica Norte
slow.
y me gustaría saber qué sientes al ser
That's
hacer
normally I would
la
have to be
primera
like,
vez que
habla
tienen en
más
su equipo a
despacio,
alguien que
por favor.
representa la
Like, please
región
talk
de LAN
slower.
como lo
But
es
he was
Davis.
talking really slow and I still couldn't understand. I was disappointed in myself.
O sea, durante todas las competencias que tuvimos,
Say after
siempre,
champions when he asked
cuando
what's your
miraba
favorite
a LAN,
scrim.
siempre destacaba a Davis. Siento que era el
It's
mejor en la región.
EVG.
Y durante los entrenamientos,
That's
bueno, y hasta el
interesting.
día de hoy, sigo insistiendo lo mismo. Ha demostrado mucho en el equipo, me ha sorprendido demasiado. Siento que fácilmente está entre el top
The
3 o
different
3,
accent.
4, top 4 de los mejores jugadores de la región. Así que muy feliz de haber adquirido a este player y que esté jugando conmigo.
Like,
Muchas gracias, muchas gracias. I can question for King, please.
Wait, there's ones by Disney?
We're running out of time, so I have to move on. I'm
Bro.
sorry.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait,
Next question from
what do I
Game
ask
Watch.
SK Rossi? Why do you guys?
Thank you. I have a question for Laz, and I'll ask them in Japanese.
That's pretty crazy.
ラズ選手に質問です。
This team
先ほど XQ コーチからは、チームとして、東京マスターズ東京に向けて、すごい視野を向けているというような話もあったんですが、それを踏まえて、今回の大会っていうのは、選手側の目線からしてどんなことを目標にしていますかっていうのを一つ、結果でもいいですし、それからチームとしてどうこの大会を活用して成長していきたいとか、チームにどういう影響があったらいいかなっていうのを教えていただきたいのが一つと、もう一つ日本の視聴者に向けて、試合を観戦してくれる人にどういうところに注目してほしいかというのをお願いします。
Either one, Leviathan should win that. This game, because so Navi will play Liquid here probably,
実際、
right?
確かに、ロックインの後にリーグからのマスターズ東京が控えていて、
That'll be a hard game for Leviathan in semis.
そうですね、ロックインは、形式的にも、イベントというか、祭り的な部分があるのかなとは思ってますけど、でも僕たちがやることは変わらずに全力で出して、いけるところまで行くっていうのは変わらず、で、もちろん大会を通して、自分たちが獲得できる経験もすごい、後々力になるものなので、全力でいきたいなと思ってます。で、そうだな。見てくれる方は、
I heard that. I heard the but you ain't screwed us comment. I was
いろんな
like,
地域からいろんなチームが集まってて、メタ
I was like, God damn.
ごちゃごちゃのすごい。
By the way,
面白い
Angel's
試合が見れると
FPX
思うんで、
squad bodied us
どういう
at
戦い
Champions.
方を
They
し
were
てる
like
んだ
one
ろ
of
う
the few
みたいな
teams that like
この見
destroyed
てると面
us.
白いのかなとは
We
思
scrimmed
っ
them
て
on
ます。
Fracture. Although our scrims for champions were a little bit whack because everyone had COVID.
This question
and
is
like,
for Laz. XQQ coach has previously
hard to take
mentioned
a
that
lot from
the
it, but
team
they
is
looked really good in this
focused
fracture.
for the Masters Tokyo and not towards this particular tournament. And what is your personal goal for the tournament? And second question is to the fans who watch the matches, what is your recommendation of the point to watch? And last answer is because the league is starting right after lock-in. I feel like this event is more like a festival. Of course, we'll try to go as far as possible and gain as much experience as possible. And in terms of the point to watch, because there's so many different teams coming from all over the world with different thoughts on the meta. So it'll be interesting to focus and pay attention to the how different each teams play from each region.
What are you guys typing in chat right now?
To focus on the difference.
I feel like there's some
Thank
sketchy
you.
stuff being
Next
said in
question
chat.
from George Geddes.
Hi, hello. My question is for Angel. Hello, Angel. How are you?
Hello, bro.
I hope you're doing well. I would just like to let you know that I've been made aware of a pretty cardinal sin that you do from Doom Bros, actually. So me and him wanted to ask you, is it true that you actually hate subtitles on movies and you watch things dubbed? Are you being serious, or what's going on there?
No. It's a pure lie, obviously. It's Eric. What did you expect from him, bro?
Okay, just curious. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Serious? Okay, thank you. Next and last question is
that's
from
actually
Scott
so
at
funny
Dottie
from
Sports.
George. He just got exposed.
Thank you.
Dude.
Yes, questions also for Angel. Don't worry, it's not about your viewing habits or how you watch movies or anything like that.
That's our reporter. Hashtag our reporter.
In the alpha bracket, a bit of a tough start for
Let's
EMEA.
go.
Some first round eliminations.
I'm so glad we have
second round.
George in
Obviously,
this
new
scene. 'Cause that
meta
means
start
I
of the
can
year,
ask
new
fucking
team,
crazy
single win
questions.
tournament. So not
If our
too
most
much
professional reporter can ask that,
no
I can do
warning
whatever
signs or
I
anything for
want.
the region as a whole.
I'm free to
but
do whatever.
do you foresee with Liquid and yourselves and with Fnatic, do you see the region performing
You guys are
better
so
in
mad.
the Omega bracket?
That's actually
in
hilarious.
theory, I feel like
I love
us, Fnatic, and Liquid are strongest rosters on paper for now. Unfortunately, we've been drawn in the same bracket, so we can see like EU final. But who knows how it's gonna go? It's like single elimination. 32 teams, new meta, new maps, new agent. It's gonna be pretty random, but I feel like it should be your team winning this part of bracket.
Dude,
Thank you very much. Are there questions in the room from on-site media?
I'm just realizing it. The narrative. Dude,
okay, well, that concludes our second press conference today. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back shortly.
I just stumbled into the script. Are you ready? Are you ready for the script? Here it is. Look at the bracket. They knew Loud was making it through this shit. They fucking knew it. They knew it. They knew it. They knew DRX or PRX was making it through here. They just knew it. Like, what are the odds that Cloud9 beats them both? 0. What do they know from here? They stacked it. They put Liquid, Navi, and Vitality. Even if Leviathan is cooking in scrims, there's just too much EMEA around them. It just reeks of EMEA up there. And then you look down here. We got 100 Thieves and Sentinels. This is the script. The script is you get all of the regions in the top 4. This is the script. So we already know who's advancing for the most part. Like, it's either going to be Liquid or Navi up here. It's either going to be Sentinels or 100 Thieves down here. This is the script. It's the opening 32-team tournament. This is the script. This is it. Look, they didn't even put an NA team up here because they're like, if we need an NA team to advance, we just got to like stack the bottom side of this. Because if we split them up 1-1, they're going to get cooked. But I still feel like Fnatic is... Bro. This bracket's weird down here. Because, like, 100 Thieves should be favored to win this. 100 Thieves should be favored to win this. And then down here, it's going to be like these two teams. Dude, 100 Thieves could so easily make this shit. It's going to be insane. It's going to be so cool. Let's go. But yeah, that's the script. Dude, Global, that would be sick. If Global won, that'd be awesome. Coach. Who let him cook? Yeah, Mike. Mike answering the questions. He's not going to give us a lot. He's not going to give us a lot. I don't even know what I would ask him, man. Like, I don't even know. What am I going to ask Mike? I got to go pee real quick, though. What's that? What time is it? It's 1:30. Please don't say you want to see that 1v1. Please make it stop. To 9-3 curse. Dude, the GE fans came out. Is Mike coming on? I don't know. Is Mike coming on? Do we know? How do you know that, Chesterton? Not sure if I said your alias right. I'm sorry if not. I started watching it, KCN. I started watching it, but it's so long. I got through like maybe like 20 minutes. Yeah, he said some pretty kind things. I mean, what he said was technically true. I did call like a lot of strats. It's obviously not, those of you that know me probably and how I call know that I'm not really one to like doing that, but we were in a rough spot where we had to win matches quick and have a lot of prac time. So I kind of just had to do that, you know? It was what I thought would win. Cool. In the 4th round. Is this the 3rd round or is it the 4th round? Like, did my 1-on-1 count as round 1? DRX versus Loud, who do I think will win? That is a really, really good question. That is a question that I don't even know if I'm smart enough to answer. I would imagine that Loud is going to have solutions for the Icebox Harbor. I would also imagine DRX will have solution for the Harbor Pearl. But I think DRX's Pearl might have a little bit more holes than Loud's. I think Loud's Pearl look pretty impressive. I think I would early on side Loud here. I don't think we've seen DRX on split. Yeah, I think I would side with Loud. But it is a very, very close game. Like, it could go either way. Honestly, like, that is a banger series. Yeah, I wish they switched brackets for the semis. That would be sick. Like, if teams just swapped brackets, like the team from the top half went to the other side, you know? That would be better. I would enjoy that. I agree. Kind of unfortunate we don't get that, huh?
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 3rd press conference. Today, we are joined by
Okay, so there's first going to be some questions thrown their way. I'm going to listen while I go get a drink real quick.
Bone Cold of Team Vitality, and SK Rossi of Global
Esports. I love Redguard and I love Bone Cold.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are going to start with questions that were pre-submitted by our media. First question goes to SK Rossi from Sports Kyedae Kushal. After playing Duelist for over 2 years, you've shifted to the role of initiator for your team. How have you adjusted to this new playstyle?
From asking my players to break recon, from being the guy who will break recon and recon now. It feels all right. It's like new challenge for me, and it's like a reset for my entire thing, because all these two years I've been playing only Duelist. Now it's a new role. I have to learn a lot of new things about initiator, calming myself down, not to give up my life easily in the game, like not taking unnecessary duels or not taking risks. So yeah, it's been hard in the beginning stages, but we have a really good coaching staff and players who help me to develop as a really good initiator. I've been still working on that, but yeah, I think time by time I'll get better at this role and dominate.
Awesome. Thank you. Next question is to Redgar from Adarsh at Sports Kyedae. You come from a roster where every single teammate spoke the native language. How do you think your transition to a multinational roster like Team Liquid will affect your role as the IGL, considering you and Nats are the only Russian players?
I don't think that there is a problem because I know how to speak in English and he knows also. And our communication, like sometimes at the beginning you have some problems like to find out what do we mean and etc. But right now we understand pretty clear what are we thinking and what we want to do. So it's pretty simple, like just need the time to adapt to that.
Thank you. And next question goes to Jesse Vash from Sports Kyedae Adarsh. Which team from NA or EU are you looking forward to playing against the most?
I don't have any specific teams actually. For me, playing against NA and EU team is one of my goals because I also want to prove that we from APAC also can win against these NA and EU teams because normally people always underestimate APAC teams.
It's true. It's
Thank
actually
you.
true.
Next question
People
goes
underestimate
to
the shit out of
Redgar
APAC
from
teams,
the
including
Spike
his team.
GG NK. It's been a while since we've seen you and Nats on the stage. How excited are you to finally be competing, and how
Redgar looks
easy
like
or hard was
Nitro.
it to switch
Maybe it's the
to
Liquid jersey.
comms in English?
I think it was like pretty exciting to play with the new roster, the new team. I think for every team who is here, it's pretty exciting because we didn't play for the 6 months, if I'm correct, or maybe someone like less. And it's really important to find out in the new meta, new rosters, like new players. And I'm really excited to play it. Like also Nats, I think he's also excited with these emotions.
Thank you. And then last of the submitted questions goes to SK Rossi from Sports Kyedae Kushal. You played with the same group of players for the majority of your Valorant career. Coming into a 7-man roster like the current global esports, how difficult was it to build team chemistry considering all your teammates are from various parts of the world?
It was hard initially because I was emotionally connected to my previous team, and now teams are like the players are from different teams, different regions, and it was hard for me as well to play from India because of the ping and not being with the team in Korea, team bonding and stuff. But like I said, like all the players and the coaching staff, they're like very kind. They always help. They always talk. We always make fun while in practice. So initial stages, it was hard. And then after games, days after days, I think we gelled up pretty good. And now after coming to Brazil, we're all together finally. Meeting them in person is like really nice, and all of them are like very humble and they're very friendly. So it's been pretty easy for me.
Thank you. We'll now be switching to questions from remote media. If you'd like to ask a question, please use the Zoom hand raise feature. First question comes from Alan.
Yeah, so this is a question for Bunko. Yeah. Hi, Bunko.
Hello.
Hello. So you and Vitality joined some off-season event. Right, so you show some appearance in that, but I couldn't call that very perfect. So how much do you think you and your team improved after that?
So for the Red Bull home grounds, we had a solid like a 1 month of practice where we only laid down like the foundation. We were still figuring like our roles in the team, and we got that finished for Red Bull, and now we had like a month and a half of like non-stop practice. So we've been just like laying down like different things, different comps like on the table. So like going into this tournament, I'm very excited to like show everyone like how we're going to play.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Jinx.
Hello, this is Rabia from Jinx. My question is to Rossi. First of all, best of luck for the upcoming games. Can't wait for you to pop up on the global stage. I'm really excited.
I love this guy. He's so
and
smiley.
My question is, like you mentioned, it was difficult for you to create that chemistry with the team in early stages, and you guys
Everyone
are
else is
meeting,
just like checked out.
for the first time IRL in Brazil. And while on the other side, other teams have been practicing together at one place for months now. And do you think that it will affect the team performance in the tournament overall, or you guys have created that synergy that is required to beat the tough teams coming into the competition?
I think synergy-wise, other teams might have an advantage, but I didn't see any difference. Like how to say, all our practice games, even when I was playing from India, like all our scrims are doing pretty well, and we are like just making some mistakes in game. But synergy-wise, I think we are doing okay, even if we are not like playing
No, we
from
haven't seen
online.
100 Thieves yet.
It didn't bother us at all, unless the ping, of course. And yeah, it was pretty good. And playing in Brazil now, we are in the same room practicing from a couple of days. I think we're doing pretty good. The synergy is like not bothering us all. I mean, we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Next question from Elizabeth.
Where am I at?
Hi, my question is for Rossi. First off, I have many fans in chat right now who have stayed up to watch you. So they say hello, and they're supporting you. They told me it's AG fighting. So they're but my question for you is that we've seen you play a lot of chamber pre-nerf.
Bro,
The last match I could find of
it's
yours
hard
was
to
November
not like this
25th of
guy.
2022. With your 7-man roster, especially with 3 of your teammates specializing in the duelist role,
Nitro
how
lost
does that
his
affect your agent
glasses.
distribution and roles?
I mean, I cannot be a one trick pony, right? And nobody can just use one agent, or nobody can stick to one role. Given that Valorant is changing every day, every season, and every update, you need to be like versatile. So I'm focusing on building myself as a player who is ready to play any agent, any type of roles, or adapting to any kind of situations thrown at me. I think that is what I'm focusing on, and it did affect a lot in the beginning, like I said, but I've been developing the skills for my role now, and I'm playing a lot of other agents. Before I used to just play like Jet and Chamber. Now I'm exploring a lot of other agents, and I've been given time to learn, and also a lot of help by the coaching staff. They're providing everything they can for me to get better at it. And yeah, I mean, I just want to be like, I just want to be a player who can play everything and get better at everything. That's the goal. I don't want to be stuck at one agent or one role. So yeah, we're doing good on that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. GE fighting.
Thank you. Next question from Solgi at VLR at BlixGG.
Hello, I have 2 questions. This first question is for Jesse Bash. So first off, happy
You guys
birthday,
did
Bash.
this.
So you'll be playing against Liquid with Nats and Redgar, who you've already played against in your debut Games of Champions in 2021. How does it feel to go up against them again now that they're on Liquid?
We are really excited. Every players are really excited to play against them. And as you can remember, they are part of the teams that 0-13 us, Redgar.
Look,
and
there's
Nats,
all these
so
serious people, and
this
there's a
is
fucking
kinda,
Cypher with his shirt off. This
revenge
is
match
all...
for us. So
Actually, Sliggy, well,
you
Sliggy
watch
doesn't raise
out,
his hand.
Redgar.
He doesn't really count.
Thank you. And the second part of this question is for Rossi. So for you, Rossi, specifically, since you're like this sort of icon in India, and you're like the sole Indian player playing on the starting 5, how does it feel to have like this sort of burden, the weight of all of India on your shoulders?
It feels really good, to be honest. A lot of people, like, I get this question a lot, like, there's a lot of pressure on you, there's a lot of people expecting from you. I'm like, no, this is a really good chance for me. Let's say like there's like 10,000 people watching me. They want me to perform good, and if I perform good, it's a really good. It's good for me, and it's a really good boom for Indian esports if I perform good on international stages, because nobody has ever done it, let alone play
What
on
a
an
good
international
mindset.
stage.
Wow.
So I take that as a lot of confidence and a lot of pride in me. Like, okay, there's so many people watching me now. I need to perform good. It's not pressure. It just, I take it in a good way to become a superstar. If I play well, I'm a superstar. Yeah. So no pressure. All good.
Dude, that's a really good mindset. Wow.
Thank you. And moving forward, please ask one question per one hand raise.
Damn.
Just for the interest of time.
Great question.
Next
Great
question
answer.
from Arnab.
Holy.
Hi, Rossi. First of all the best for your upcoming matches. I just wanted to ask, recently we got to know that Ronsky will not be will not be joining you guys in Brazil. Does this has hampered your game plan
Redgar
the
is really
team
likable.
or something like this?
Redgar brings
and
like
how you
presents
guys
to
are
people at these
approaching
events.
this situation?
Like
Vronsky had
packs
some
his
personal
suitcase full of
problems,
presents.
outside the game. So
like
it's
Russian
sad for
candies
us
and stuff,
that
like
he's not
weird,
here, and
weird
it's
stuff.
it does impact us. But when we practice, it's not like if Vronsky is playing, we just go out of a computer, right? We keep watching the games regardless of who's playing or who's not playing. We're a summon roster, and we just watch each and every scrim. So we know what Vronsky's role is, what his agent is, what does he do in game. So we just have to, practice that with the team and build that synergy back again. Of course, it does affect us, but it's like Vronsky has played like, let's say 20 maps, and the new guy has to cover up that 20 maps as well
I don't know
to get
what
on the same level or better.
And
So
you
it
are a
does.
troll.
It just takes them some, extra time, but we can cover it up for
bro.
him,
People
like
are
whatever
literally
roles
just
or whatever
laughing.
agency was playing. I think other players can pick it up because we're always
Nah, when the
watching, we're
reactions
always
are
discussing
ew
together,
and
we're always in the server
I'm
together,
definitely not asking
Discord,
a
all the
question.
everything basically. So it does affect us, but it's just matter of time to get back at it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, G fighting.
Keep fighting.
Thank you. Next question comes from Brandon at Esports GG.
Thank you very much. This is also for SK Rossi. Got a lot of people in the chat here for me as
SK
well.
Rossi's
About
getting
3:30
all the
a.m.
questions.
India time watching. So my
That's
question kind of follows up on
crazy.
all
It's
the roster
3:30
questions
and-
that you had. We see a couple of teams with larger rosters going
Indian
into the
team is
Champions Tour this year, kind of
popping.
like Evil Geniuses, and then Global Esports. My question for you is, how do the other players that are kind of brought in as substitutes fit in? Are they more for practice, more just to kind of be ready to jump in, like in a situation where Vronsky might not be able to come? What are their roles when they're not, performing with the starting roster?
It's all about
Who's
being
G's
ready,
roster,
knowing about every agent. Like, let's say if a guy is not playing and he will watch the game. If he's not on the starting,
was the controller
playing
we
fire
watched before,
on that
right?
scrim, he just watches every game and keep giving inputs on what can be better, what can
Bossy
be,
played like Brim
what
when I
mistakes
watched
we are
him, but I
doing,
guess we
and
don't.
also watch all the roles of other players. So if
How does,
anything
like,
bad
the
happens,
stand
he can just jump in and he knows what's the plan, what we're
have I
gonna do,
seen him?
and it's for that. And yeah, pretty much it. Like, we're always
Oh, yeah, he's
together,
on this
no
team.
matter who's playing, who's not playing. We're always together. Everybody
This is
knows
where
what's gonna happen
this
in game.
game right
Everybody
here.
knows what's the thing. Yeah. So the fundamentals won't change. The plans
Sova.
won't change. It's just a player changing another player. That's it. Everything's gonna remain same. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question comes from Vincent.
Thank you very much. Representing the German Referee Foundation, this is going to Redgar. Redgar, quick question from you over here. I would very much like to know, you have not been with the team in a while. You unfortunately could not attend the bootcamp. How is it for you now in Brazil to be with your teammates and to perform with them?
Personally, it's very amazing to meet them all in real life, because when you can see their faces, how we're communicating, like fist bumps and the other stuff, it's really amazing. I really missed that old feelings. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. So thank you for the question.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Sean Gares.
Hey, what's up, everyone out there? So my question goes to you, Redgar. I'm curious what it feels like for you in-game leading on this team in English as opposed to the previous rosters that you played with. Has there been any bumps in the road, and how's practice gone with the new team? Because I think I speak for the world in saying people expect you guys to be a heavy hitter with this lineup. What's it like being on Liquid, and yeah, just your whole experience so far?
Okay. So if we start from the, no, I'm kidding. I think the communication is really important thing, because sometimes when we just started to practicing, it was a little bit hard, because I can't do immediately the calls that I wanted to do on my native language. But right now it's pretty simple, because you have keywords, right now they're understanding what I want from the round, they know my ideas, and it's much simpler to settle all these things, right? About the pressure and expectations from the others, I don't know. I don't know. On the paper, a lot of teams are looking pretty good, but what happens in the game, who knows? Like I said, we didn't play for the 6 months. It's I didn't hear first time we ever meet. It's first time we're gonna play together, and it can be really, really amazing things. It can be like bad things and good things, but we are focusing on good things. I'm not gonna predict like how we're gonna play, but personally, I think like with personalities in our team are really good, and I really like our like chemical things.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Nerditude Antonio.
I thought he was asked something similar, but like I wanted.
Nerditude, if you're speaking, you are muted.
I was even like.
Thank you. My question is for Redcar.
When I got up because I got my drink.
Since
when they first
2020,
came on,
you have been playing with the same people. How was the adaptation process with the
I guess I
new
just
team?
Kind of zoned out or something. I don't remember.
I think like when you play with one team for a long time of period, sometimes you can like miss a lot of things, right? And it's really important for me like to refresh your knowledge, like maybe every year. Like maybe I can make it just with my routine, or I can like
I meant
change
to ask
one
him if he has like a
player in the
secondary
roster and they
RGL.
change like everything, right?
I
When you have like the
forgot.
subs, it's
Probably
also
Yompi.
like changed everything.
Or
So
Safe. Actually,
I
I
think
heard Safe is actually
that
provided a
right
lot
now
to
I'm
that
playing
team.
like with another players. It's really improving me as an IGL, and it's opening my point of view on the game, because I'm speaking like with a lot of people who are from different teams. They have different views, and I'm just using it all to provide something new, and it's really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. Next question from Sage at Esports Illustrated.
Hi, my question is for Jesse Vash, and I just want to ask you about the new player in Team Secret, Envy. That he was the only change made into the team. So I want to see how Team Secret's playstyle improves or changes with him on the team, as well as how the team's search for chicken adobo has been going in Brazil.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Envy's a very great players. I think he add more firepower to the team, and also he's a very flexible player, and he's also very vocal. So when it's come to discussion, we're doing a really great job discussing every problems and the solutions to our problems. And yeah, I think it's a really great addition. Envy is a very great addition to the team. And yeah.
Bro, why do people think I'm hating on Loud?
Thank you. Next
so
question from
confused.
Rabia.
Look at this shit, guys.
Hi, this question is for Rossi again. Rossi, you mentioned that you are now shifting to support agents. I have a question on that.
You can't see it.
Do you think you will still be able to play as aggressively as you used to be with duelists? Or the game plan has changed a bit?
These DMs are just so hateful.
Role wise, I need to fulfill my role. It's not like I can play on aim based. It's more about preferring utility over peeking alone by myself. But the game plan, apart from the game plan, I think when it comes to clutch situations or any other situations that are not planned, I think that's where my inner duelist come to life and just pop off. But other than that, yeah, in the initial stages, I was just dry peeking stuff, just like how I used to do in duelist. It was just in my, it's like a tendency after playing like 2 years of duelist, it just comes within of if I see enemy, just take straight up duels. But yeah, that was like costing us a lot of rounds, and it's a mistake doing from my role.
Just getting
but
these DMs
yeah,
from random people.
The first job or the first mission is to fulfill the team needs as an initiator, and then just go crazy. Awesome. Also, YT or Spotify?
Sorry, Spotify.
Kidding.
We can have a debate later.
Kidding. Yeah, sure. When we meet, definitely.
Thank you. Next question from Arnab.
My question is for Bone Cold. You guys have been apart, the team has been apart for a long time compared to global. So how do you see the upcoming matches? What are your thoughts?
People are so mad at me, and I don't know
Excuse me. So we've been a team for around like 4 months now, and during that time we played an online tournament. We played one on LAN in Red Bull home grounds, and had like a ton of practice for this tournament. So we're not really like this tournament. Like we're only going with the thought of like we only control our performance and not the results. So we're just gonna go like all out there. We're gonna have fun on stage, and we're not really scared of like any of the matches we're going to have, even again later on against this big guy over here.
It's this big guy over here.
Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you. Next question from Solgi.
I just think like
Jesse Vash. So
Vitality
I just wanted to know what are comps like in
have
scrims
really
or
good
practice
setups
or
and
with you
ideas.
with, your coach
I want to say
Warbirds
they
or
even
with
ran
Lee,
Harbor
especially
actually
with
on
how
Breeze.
they
one
don't
of
speak Tagalog. But
like they'll probably
has
run
the
a
team shifted
Harbor.
towards just speaking English,
Because
or are you
watch
still
this.
speaking in Tagalog most of the time?
The teams are still speaking in Tagalog, but
Yeah, like look
discussion
at
after
this.
the game
They
is
ran
in
Harbor
English.
back here. Like
Yeah,
they were
and
testing the waters.
I think it's working good for us. Normally when we are with Warbirds in the practice room and Lenny, we normally speak English, but when we are together, the players with the Filipino players, we
Yeah,
all
that's
speak Tagalog.
crazy that he's just skipping
Awesome,
over
thank
GE
you.
like that, because I actually think GE is
Thank
going
you.
to be a
Next
good
question
opponent.
from Elizabeth.
Hi, my question is also for Jesse Vash. I had a question about Warbirds and how that has been, having Warbirds come in as your head Valorant coach, and how that adjustment has been, and any what he has brought to the team that has been different.
Redgar's like, get me out.
I think Warbirds help us a lot
Get me
about
out.
structure, is to be more structured team, because our strategy before are pretty more chaotic, I think. So yeah, I think it helps a lot. He help us a lot, like how the
Yeah, he's
NA
definitely a mood.
teams normally do things. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good, best of luck.
Thank you. Next question from Vincent.
Thank you very much. It's me again. It's towards Bonecold this time around. Bonecold, you have showed us some, let's say, very interesting and intriguing compositions from time to time, like a harbor, for example, on Breeze. The map doesn't exist, but you get the point. Can you give us a little bit of a tease, or tell us if you and Sela have also thought of such fantastic compositions once more?
Thank you for the question. For sure, like
Marin, like,
from Red Bull to like
know
this
why
moment,
that blew up
we have
so
been
much.
cooking
Like,
up a little bit
think
before
that-
coming into this tournament. I can say like with my
so
heart that there is
crazy
like a
that,
little
like,
spice coming
that
into
got
this
taken out of
tournament,
context
but
so
sadly
bad.
I cannot leak it before the games. But yeah, we are ready to like show something nice for this tournament.
Oh my god!
Thank
they're
you, Chef
cooking.
Bonecold.
No problem.
Chef Bonecold.
Thank you. Next question from
Let's go.
George Geddes.
Oh, George.
Hi, yes. I just want to say hello to everyone. Redgar, absolutely massive. You've been hitting the gym. Mad respect, gotta say. My question is for Bonecold. So I have a question about obviously we go into your history a little bit. You won champions. Obviously, probably one of the biggest feats you can do in Valorant, itself. And obviously now with Vitality, you've changed. You've changed players. Obviously, completely new team, new atmosphere.
This guy ain't been working out. What
With
the
Vitality,
fuck?
do you believe that you have what it takes to win another championship?
I'd say with the chemistry that like we've been building on, and especially something that Salah has been bringing a lot to the team, where like he brings this like togetherness a lot. Like he's what is it? He's like very he loves to have like everyone around, like everybody, like being like really nice to each other, and on top of that bringing like a ton of structure. So what I bring from like my previous teams is like a lot of like explosiveness in the moment, chaotic calls. Salah brings like the counterpart where it's like very structured.
That's
and
a good combo.
We've been like extremely good at like mixing it up.
That's a really good combination.
I'm gonna say that like we're not looking to have like a super high peak, because the year in the franchising is going to be super long. So we're gonna pace ourselves, but for sure, like when it's going to be, like later in the year, like we are going to be ready. Like with this team, we're going to be like contenders for champions.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, George.
Thank you. And the final question will go to Rohan from Esports GG.
Hello, my question is for Edgar. You obviously were with Gambit and M3C later for a very long period of time. Now you're with Team Liquid. What has been the biggest change that you've had to have in terms of your leadership as you join the new team?
I think it's like the way how I'm gonna communicate with my people, like, because when you play with a team like for 2 years, right, you already know the habits, you already know everything about them, and when you're changing like the
Whoa, you don't like the
roster, you
profile
need
pic?
to again like to go into this, and it's every time I think it's happy, like it's interesting, like to find out the way how to
Wait,
communicate
they
better,
got texture on that
how
team?
like to find out the full potential of the player, and yeah, like this is the way how I'm gonna communicate right now, and our goal is like to
they
achieve the
do.
highest hill that we can make.
I actually didn't know Texture was on this team. Texture was insane. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
very
Texture is
much.
really good.
So that
I
concludes our
remember
press
him
conference today
before
with
the
these
chamber
players.
meta.
Thank you for joining
him.
us, and we'll be back shortly.
I remember one night I was like up super late, like watching some qualifier, and Texture was in it. And I think I was watching Shroudy co-stream it. And Shroudy was like fucking going ham, like greeting out over Texture. Just loving it. What a roster, dude. Like, look at the regions they're representing. Like, holy shit, this is insane, man. What a mixture of flags. What the fuck? This has been pretty fun. Like, I've lasted longer this time than I did last time with the whole interviews. Last time I got a little bit bored, but this time I think we have better peeps that we got. How many more do we have though? Because I do want to play ranked. I say that as I'm like feeding playing ranked right now. Two more. Can I make it though? Is it even in the cards for me to make it? Don't say that, Divvy. What? Divvy. You're gonna put that out there? Wait. What's happening? Oh, someone's making the remix. I see. It's like Ariana Grande and Die For You remixed.